Probably better than me being love 14
I
megabytes.
won't ask.
Okay.
Ask Lane until she comes to my house.
Now, if you're love 15 megabytes,
So,
Why do you got 30
let's go. Let's go over this practice quiz so we can be ready for your quiz on Monday. So, number one, I just like to draw a picture and write down what you're given. So angle A was 25 degrees. Side B was 12.5. And side C was 13.6. So which situation is this? Side angle side. Good. So when we do side angle side, we do law of cosines to start. So the only thing I can figure out is side A. So I go with A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2 times B times C times cosine of angle A, which is 25. So this is the one you can put in your calculator, and that gives you 33.07. Put it all in. What do you got to remember at this step, though? Square root it. So when you take the square root of 33.07, you get 5.75. So I did 7.5. If you do 5.8, that's okay. All right. Either one I'll accept. But this is how I did this one. So that's my numbers might be a little different than yours. Now, after this, we'll put that in a different color. So the different colors are our answers. All right. Now, which angle do I find? The angle B or the angle C?
B.
Why are we finding B?
Smallest.
The smallest one. Correct. Anytime we go from law of cosines to law of sines, we're going to find the smaller of the remaining two. So we go 5.75 for side A over the sine of angle A equals 12.5, the shorter side, which was side B, over the sine of angle B. Remember, the capital letters are the angle measures, and the lowercase letters are the side lengths. So don't get those mixed up. Some kids get those mixed up. Okay? So I'm going to cross multiply 12.5 times the sine of 25 and divide by 5.75, and you'll get sine of B equals 0.9187. So I cross multiplied and divided to get that. Now, this is where you have to go second sine, second answer to get the angle measure. So it gives you angle B is 66.7 is what I got, because I used 5.75. If you use 5.8, it might be a little different. That 66 point something will be a little different, or it might be 67. All right. I just went with the 66.7, and then all I got to do is add 25 to that and subtract from 180 to get C, and that's what I did and got 88.3. So again, I added the 25 to the 66.7 because I already knew. Once you know two angles of a triangle, always find that third angle, right?
Yeah.
Add them and subtract from 180. Questions on number one? Okay. No, that doesn't take long. That's a quicker one. The one that takes longer is this next one. Number two. Any questions on one before we go to two? You're a little slow. If you're gonna sit on the couch, you gotta be quicker. All right, so this one was which situation?
Side by side.
Side, side, side. So we have a 4.3 for side A. We have a 5.1 for side B. We have a 4.8. So these are all very close to each other, right? So which one, when it's side, 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 which angle do we find?
Biggest.
Biggest, right?
Ow.
Find the biggest, all right? So the biggest would be opposite the longest side, right? So angle B is the biggest. So I'm gonna go 5.1 squared equals 4.3 squared plus 4.8 squared, the two smaller ones, minus 2, 4.3, 4.8, cosine, and that was angle B, that will be the biggest, so that's what goes here. So that's what we have to do is figure out what angle B is, all right? So when we do this, you need to do the 5.1 squared, which is 26.01. And then what I do next are these two, which was 41.53. And then I do these next, which is negative 41.28. You can't put it all in like you did on the last one. You got to do this in steps. Okay? So now I'm going to subtract the 41.53 over. And you get negative 15.52. And over here you got negative 41.28 cosine of B. So to get rid of the negative 41.28, you divide. All right, because it's times the cosine of B. All right, and that gives us 0.3760. And that's cosine of B. So to find this answer, you go second cosine, because it's the law of cosine, second answer. All right, and that gives us angle B, comes out to be 67.9 degrees when I do that step. All right, which one's the smaller one, A or C? A. So that's the one I got to find, all right? 4.3 over the sine of A, because A is the smallest of the remaining ones, equals 5.1 over the sine of 67.9. Okay? When I cross multiply and divide there, I get 0.7813 is the sine of A. So when I go second sine, now remember you're back at law of sine, so you go second sine, second answer. Angle A comes out to be 51.4. So I add 67.9 to that and subtract it from 180, and angle C comes out to be 60.7. Questions on 2. So that one's the one that takes a little more work. That's just like 5, all right? 2 and 5 are the same type. So I'm not going to do 5 for you because I just did 2. It's the same type. Side, side, side. Find the biggest to start. Questions?
Wait, which one's like 2?
5.
I am paying attention. 7.
Okay.
Right now.
I got Jordan.
All right. 3 and 4.
It's a little unfair.
3 and 4, I give you 2 angles. Whenever you get 2 angles, what law will you use? Law of sines. You don't need to use law of cosines for 3 or 4. All right? I can get it to show up. There we go. So 3, again, I just go ahead and draw pictures every time. A would be 22, that's side A. Angle B is 44. And angle C is 58. All right? So the first thing, whenever you get two angles, what's the first thing you do?
Find third one.
Find the third one, right? So here's what I do in my calculator. I just go 180 minus 44 minus 58. And that came out to be 78. All right, any problems with that part? And then I set up my law of signs. Doesn't matter which one you find now. All right, I need to find side C and side B, right? So I'm just using law of signs. Again, doesn't matter if you get the smaller one or the larger one first on this. It's just when you go from law of cosines to law of sines, you got to go to the smaller one, okay? So 22 over the sine of 78 equals C over the sine of 58. And 22 over the sine of 78 again equals B over the sine of 44. And when you cross multiply and divide on those, you don't have to worry about second sign, second answer stuff, because you already know the angle. All right, that's only when you're finding the angle that you do second sign, second answer, or second cosine, second answer. So you just go ahead and cross multiply and divide, and C came out to be 19.1, and B came out to be 15.6. Any questions on number 3? 4 is just like it. I give you 2 of the angles. So find the third angle and then set up your 2 proportions. Adam.
Does it matter when you use say 22
Over 78.
Yeah, doesn't matter which one you use if you're trying to figure the other one out. No, I'm trying to say. If you're trying to use
Right. Since
A.
this is the first, since these are the first ones I got, I use it twice.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can use it twice, you don't have to use the other one?
Yeah, you don't have to use that. Yeah. I think that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
That's what I always do.
Okay.
The one that I know, that's the one I use.
Okay.
And then the other 2 I figure out.
Got it.
So 4 is just like 3. We good?
Yeah.
We good for 5 then. It's just like 2. Okay. Let's look at the 3 word problems. All right. And look at number 8. It says find the perimeter and the area. We will not find the area. So just cross that out. That part. We don't have to know how to find the area. Perimeter, we're just going to add up the 3 sides, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's all we'll do for 8. So, and I'll remind you on when is the quiz going to be for you guys? Monday. All right. Monday. I'll remind you to cross that part out. All right. So number 6. Again, I just draw a picture. If you want to label them A, B, C, that's fine. You can do that. I didn't label them. But it said, Ann's creating a triangular frame. 2 angles are 64 and 58. So I just made those. And then it said the included side. All right. So here's the 2 angles I used, A and C. So what's the included side? AB, BC, or AC?
AC.
AC. You guys understand that? The included side is the one that's in between the 2 angles you're given. All right, and that was 38. Okay? So it says, what are the lengths of the other 2 sides of the frame? All right, so the first thing you got to do, since you don't know this angle up here across from 38, you need to figure that out. Remember, whenever you know 2 sides or 2 angles, find the third, right? So I did 180 minus 58 minus 64. And I got 58. Okay, so this one worked out that these two were the same. Okay? That's not going to happen. Yeah. Thanks. That's not going to happen on the quiz. That just happened on the practice. But if two angles are equal, that means the sides opposite those angles are equal. So this side over here is also 38 just because it's an isosceles triangle. That doesn't happen though on your quiz. All right, I checked to make sure. All right, so you're going to have to find that side by setting up law of sines. But in this case, you didn't really have to do that. So basically on this one, I have to find that side. All right, so we're going to go 38 over the sine of 58 equals x over the sine of 64. Okay, so in this problem, it was a little bit quicker than it will be on your quiz because you'll have to find that other angle, which won't be the same as, one of the others that I gave you. So you'll have to set up the other proportion. But cross multiply and divide, and that gives you 40.3. That's centimeters, but I'm not really worrying about the units. So like I said, number 6 on your quiz, you'll have to do 2 proportions instead of just 1 like we did here. This just worked out to be a isosceles triangle. I really wasn't trying to do that, just how it worked out. Okay, we good on that type?
Yeah.
All right, number 7. You guys should know what a parallelogram looks like. Okay, it's just a rectangle that's kind of slanted. All right, now which angle looks like it's 106 degrees? The one on the bottom left or the one on the bottom right? Bottom right, right? 106 is more than 90, right? So this one's more than 90. That makes sense?
Yeah.
All right, the two sides are 55 and 71. So this looks like the shorter one, so I made it 55. This looks like the longer one, so I made it 71. Okay? How do I figure out what a diagonal is? You go opposite corners, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm looking for. What kind of situation? So which law? Cosine. It's side angle side, so this is like number 1. Okay? So you're going to use law of cosines for this. All right? So I'm looking for this side. If you want to label it ABC, you can. I just made it x. That's what I'm looking for. That's x squared equals 55 squared plus 71 squared minus 2, 55, 71, cosine of 106, our angle. That's the one you can put all in your calculator. Okay? When you do that, you get this number, which was 10,218.7. Are we finished?
No.
No, we got to remember to do at this point. Square root it, and you get 101.1. All right, so just don't forget to square root it. But that's a quicker one of the law of cosine. This side angle side one, which is pretty easy. It's just some of you have trouble drawing a parallelogram and knowing where to put the angles. It really doesn't matter which one you make 106. You should understand that one's 55 and one's 71. Which one's which, right? You could have put the 106 up there. It'd still work out the same way. The diagonal's the one the line that's going to be opposite the 106, no matter how you draw it, right? Okay. All right, number 8 is another triangle. All of these are triangles, right? Well, the parallelogram became a triangle when we drew in the diagonal, right? Again, if you want to do ABC, you can if that helps you, but you don't have to. It says two sides of a triangular plot are 150 and 225. Again, it doesn't matter which two sides you do that. To measure the angle between those sides. Top, bottom right, bottom left. Which one?
Bottom left.
Bottom left. Because it said between those two. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
It should.
Does.
Okay. So what kind of situation? Again,
Side.
another side angle side.
Oh my gosh.
So 1, 7, and 8, log cosine, side angle side. Okay? So again, I'm looking for the third side. So I go X, I made it X. Again, you could, since I did ABC, I could make it what? A, sorry. Since I made it ABC, I should go like it should be. Little a, right. So A squared equals 150 squared plus 225 squared minus 2 times 150 times 225 times the cosine of 45. So this again, you can put all in your calculator, right? And you get 25,395.3, but we're not done because we have to square root it, and it comes out to 159. I just rounded it to the nearest one. Okay, so we're not done though, because the question is, find the perimeter. So
Add them all together.
add them up, yeah. So there's an extra step here. So 150 plus 225 plus 159 equals 534. And that was feet. Again, I'm not going to worry about the units though. Again, we're not going to worry about finding area. We're just going to find perimeter on number 8. So I know I pushed you through that because we didn't have a full class, but we got it done. Any questions? Man.
Yeah, it's good.
One thing you did.
Oh, you can make it however you want. That's just how I do it. I don't know, it's just, so if you want to put A up there, that's okay. Anything else, question-wise? Okay. So, thanks for your attention. We will not